about to get into the pistol round now, not Anders.
Yes, it seems like it. So welcome to the show if you're just joining us. This is Room on Fire and the SLTV StarSeries Grand Finals here in the Season 10. Na'Vi versus Fnatic, and right now the map score is 2-1 in favor of Fnatic. If they take one more map throughout this one or the next one, they are going to be crowned champions, but Na'Vi are not out of it yet. They're on the more favored side as well, and it seems like Fnatic are going for a bit of a push, or at least a group up outside the B-bomb site. The question is if they're going to commit to it or fall back again, and they have plenty of time to decide.
They do. They have more than a minute left, a minute 15. That's a lifetime in CS. And for Fnatic, or for Na'Vi, a minute 15 is an eternity. But Fnatic love to pace themselves as well, but it does look like it's going to be the interplay after all. Zeus is holding this position with the 5-7, though, and as soon as he spots this, he starts to hammer them. Great point-blank headshot there, but he gets instantly overwhelmed. Guardian from on high trying to put shots in to stop that plant from happening, but he's not going to be quick enough. And now, oh, what a shot from Guardian, though. Catches olofmeister on the ladder, and that's going to start the train here for Na'Vi.
See, that was very interesting, but I do love this movement coming out from Flusha. He's got 1 point of health. He wants to be the guy wrapping around to actually finish the round, maybe in the last second or something like that. They're already down by the bomb. They've got the smoke up. They're already defusing here. Na'Vi, I don't think Fnatic realize they're going to have to shoot for the smoke, but it's not going to work out, and Na'Vi are going to come back and take the round. That's very interesting, and both teams coming up with some great moves.
All over the place, really. Just Guardian in particular, seized with one shot. 1-for-1, that's good enough from him. But for Guardian to land that shot on olofmeister, that was just brutal. And that really started it rolling there for Na'Vi, allowing them to close in, because the rest of Fnatic were up in brown halls trying to get into positions to stop that push from happening. But olofmeister was their point man on the bomb site in particular, or on itself. So for him to go down so quickly, that threw a lot of things under the bus for Fnatic. Now they seem like they want to go for just a straight up smoke plant on A, and it's going to work. Or not, they managed to deny it. Na'Vi find the angle and stop that plant from going down.
Yeah, it looked like pronax actually did a double take when putting on the bomb and moved up a little bit further so they could actually see him, so I'm not really sure what that was about. And that's a bit of a mistake from Fnatic's side, because these smoke plants are a very popular thing on this map, and something that we've seen quite often right by this barrel, which you can't really shoot through, so I'm not sure how they look like they were in position for it.
No, that was, yeah, I had already in my mind, I had already seen that plant actually going down, right? And Fnatic, okay, back-to-back plants, they're going to have plenty going into this. I mean, they still managed to get a couple kills towards the end, so they're forcing Na'Vi to spend some money. It's not a total loss for Fnatic, but it could have been better there. What Fnatic are going to do, though, is just straight up all-out aggression onto this A site, trying to make use of the rifles. pronax finally hits the headshot on Edward, but Edward takes one with him, and that's good enough right now. Na'Vi just need to pace themselves and manage to get the punish. olofmeister drops the bomb in a really awkward spot, and things are not getting easier here for Fnatic.
Well, they're definitely not. But 2-on-3 is not that bad. I mean, Fnatic being on the less favored side, if they can just do some great damage every round, that's definitely going to be worth a lot. Flusha almost catching the opening kill. He's got a lot of time to work with here, and the more kills he gets right here, the better, but it's not going to be happening. Guardian will take him down, and that is, after all, a pretty good round from Na'Vi, right? They survive with 3 members.
Yeah, and I'm wondering at what point Guardian is going to pick up an AWP. If he drops this AK and goes for it now, he has the money. Guardian. 47.50.
He's going to be having a pistol. He realized they're echoing. They didn't put down the bomb, so he can be pretty sure. So he just wants to save as much as he can.
Okay, then.
And Edward with some great headshots on Flusha and Krimz outside. Gonna go for a third headshot. Actually, he just sprays down pronax. And JW goes down. Still no bomb plant happening for Fnatic. They're Na'Vi locking it down in these Anticos, and that's good news for them. And there's the AWP. Now he guesses that they're probably going to be buying, so he's ready for it.
Yeah, this makes sense. 5th round buy coming out here from Fnatic. A lot of this actually going pretty well, according to plan, basically, for Na'Vi. They've won the pistol round. They won that first hurdle, the buy round in the 4th. Or rather the 3rd. Now Fnatic in the 5th. Full buy from them. And not only that, a double AWP play from Fnatic. This is not something we see very often, especially T-side train. Oh, what a shot from JW.
Did he just do that? He just leapt down the ladder and then got a kill and fell back up again. That's ridiculous. Guardian up here is going to go down to olofmeister. And, well, they've lost JW, but this is still a really big opening for Fnatic here.
Oh, that was fantastic. And that was artwork there at the end of Ivy. I think it was pronax, basically. He peeked out, showed his gun barrel to Guardian, and olofmeister peeks immediately after that. Guardian can't react in time for the shot. So just such teamwork coming out from Fnatic right now. They are really displaying something here, and this is a round where they really have a solid shot at getting out onto the site. Krimz peeks right, he peeks left, and Edward is waiting with the AWP to shut him down, brings it back to a 3-on-3, and Fnatic still have to get out onto this site somehow. Pronax gets legged over an Ivy. That's not going to help things. starix going to chase them around, and 40 seconds left. Fnatic, they need to get control of this site.
Yeah, they definitely do. Killing starix is a good start here, but Zeus with the return still. No bomb plant, and olofmeister's now going to be alone 1-on-2. He's going to go for the plant at least, but as he does, they creep very close, and they're going to be able to take him down. But they got the bomb plant, so they can buy the next round, but that's a bit of a shame. That was a very good position for Fnatic, and they couldn't close it out.
Yeah, and even with 3 guys living at the end here for Na'Vi, or rather 2 guys living, they'll be able to hold on to that AWP, the all-important AWP for Guardian. The money is still there for Na'Vi. That's the big thing here. C's still sitting on 9K. Fnatic, they are able to go for a pretty healthy buy, but as we can see, Flusha could have bought an AWP. olofmeister could have as well bought a glass cannon AWP, but there is no AWP picked up for Fnatic. They want to rely on mobility right now. And is it going to be a pop rush? No. Are they going for a fake into upper halls? The bomb is all the way over at alley right now. What are Fnatic doing?
It's a risky fake, but it can be done. I mean, Train's definitely a map that allows for a lot of this kind of stuff, and olofmeister goes down. Great opening, but instant return from Flusha is going to put Fnatic right back in the game. Guardian missing a shot at the upside of the B-bomb side.
Yeah, smokes and flashes going down, however, onto this inner side, and JW is just going to push through straight to connector. The bomb is now caught up, but this is bot time for Na'Vi to make a rotation. Edward is now here to support Guardian, and Fnatic do not have control of this site yet.
And because they already checked where Edward is and he moved in after they sort of went into the bomb site, they just have no idea. So they're going to be going down 1 and 2. Flusha jumping in. JW very close to the connector here. Might be able to get an early kill on somebody. He's going to be alone. Actually, Flusha will go down, and that's going to be the end of the round. I think Edward made that round. Just moving up after they had already gone down the sidewalk. That was very smart.
It was really nicely done. And just good play there by Na'Vi covering the ground. When it came down to it, Guardian and Edward getting up close like that. Not sure if Fnatic expected it to be that quick, and I think you're right. Edward managing to get a perfect angle basically to catch Fnatic off guard as they come rushing out onto the site. Because you can probably be sure that in Fnatic's mind, they're thinking that Na'Vi aren't going to fully commit. Okay, Guardian is on upper, but the second guy coming in to support is probably going to be somewhere around connector. He's not going to be right there on the site holding so aggressively around the corner.
That actually puts Fnatic back on an eco. This is not good. I mean, we're very likely going to be looking at a 7-0 start here, which doesn't mean Fnatic are out of this map by any means, but it is a little bit worrying because we just saw Fnatic stomp Na'Vi on Inferno. That was 16-3, and they really don't want to have the opposite thing happening to them.
Well, I mean, we do. I mean, it's like, okay, right? No, but then we get our final map, Anders.
That's true.
So, like, are we not entertained, right? We go the
right
distance,
there.
we get everything we want.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll stick to that. We do want to see a third map. Double up setup for Fnatic once again. I think it's a very cool choice. I mean, there's so many openings, and they have JW and olofmeister both, so why not use them?
Yeah, and a lot of this is coming down to individual play right now for Fnatic. I mean, they're going to be basically relying on the big shots, the big aim. Zeus is once again close up to connector. JW goes jumping down, but this time he's a little bit too early, and Zeus gets the drop on him. Zeus not used. Points his finger. JW is gone. olofmeister's waiting up there, but Zeus is not about to throw away this advantage. He does not need to go taking any kind of risk going up that ladder. Just hold back and play the angle.
Grenade out, tags Guardian a tiny bit all the way over by Ivy, but oh, it's a nice pickup from Flusha. Takes down Seized, and yeah, those return frags have actually been pretty good for Fnatic. I feel like most of the time when they lose a man early on, they just bounce right back into it. And Edward, is he really at 15-2-2? That's pretty absurd.
Whoa, I hadn't even noticed yet. Good point. Edward is having a hell of a game right now, and he's also in a pretty snazzy spot. It does look like Fnatic are going to go for A, but had they gone for B, Edward could have outflanked the whole lot of them right there. Playing down top, though, the bomb is slowly moving, and pronax is waiting for this smoke to clear to start putting pressure on back alley and the back line where Guardian and starix are currently holding for Na'Vi. That this is a crucial position for pronax. If he can find a quick frag here, that really forces the rotation out of Na'Vi. Although Zeus is on a mission, and he's in the back lines, he's behind Fnatic, and he's going to flank Flusha.
Yeah, and that's a big problem here. Now, finally, Edward's position comes into play and almost gets a kill here, leaving olofmeister on 1 point of health, and that's going to be a cleanup. And even worse, I think, for Fnatic this time, because as they were creeping around looking for a way to get into a bomb site, they actually just got completely picked apart and even backstabbed. And that's mentally going forward a big issue. And now Zeus has even picked up an auto sniper. Na'Vi are really serious about this.
Oh, this is, yeah, well, this is just a return, and this is what I was worried about going into this map. We're not really seeing anything refined come out from Fnatic. No smoke rounds, no flashes. I mean, they're going for very basic sorts of plays that revolve around picks. And Na'Vi are too good on train for that to work. They have too much experience with this lineup on this map for a very simple style like that to work. It's just going to be, it's going to keep being Fnatic running into a blender, basically, unless they can land key shots like that. Pronax, with a great headshot on starix, gives Fnatic a man lead, and they actually get a bomb plant.
Yeah, and they have time to get into great positions as well, so as long as they stay hidden and don't show themselves, they should be working out great here. olofmeister does go down, and then equalizes it to a 3-on-3. JW controls the spray, and Zeus not going to pick up the kill, so great work from Fnatic. Finally, it's going to be a 2-on-2, but that bomb is already pretty far ticked. And Na'Vi, they need to get in here and start defusing already. There's going to be a Molotov out. Now, Zeus is already on it. Can they stop him? No, they cannot stop him. Krimz goes down, and Na'Vi retake it 4-on-3. And my god, that's got to be soul-destroying for Fnatic here. 9-0 is the scoreline, then Krimz has actually not picked up a kill yet in these first 9 rounds. And considering how massive he was on Inferno, that's got to be frustrating him on a personal level too.
On Inferno, on Mirage, on the whole lot. But, you know, not only is it Edward, but Guardian just, I mean, that frag on Pronax, dropping him before he could deny the defuse, that was just amazing. That's what saved that round right there for Na'Vi. So Guardian coming in big, and he's been doing it time and time again, all tournament long for Na'Vi. Guardian has been their point man, their key clutcher, and now Fnatic, they have to go for a B play, it seems. I mean, they're going to try and just rush down lower. They've got the bomb behind them. The train has begun, and they do catch Na'Vi out of position, so they will actually get onto this bomb site.
Seized goes down, a Guardian from the back end, dropping Pronax and the bomb, and a grenade to follow actually will do great damage here. olofmeister on 1 point of health from that Guardian grenade, the magic apple as he sometimes likes to call it. And Krimz looking under the train is going to challenge and take down Guardian. That's great, Krimz. We need you back in the game right here if Fnatic want a chance. And he at least picks up the first kill of the game for himself. And that's a 3-on-3 with the bomb down. And Fnatic, again, with a good chance of doing it.
Yep, starix catching JW off guard, however, on upper. That's going to open things up. olofmeister only the 1 point of health, and he's instantly given by starix. Zeus has walked onto the site and picked off Flusha, and there's ample time for the defuse. 2 kits here for Na'Vi, and they will get it with plenty of time, even saving the AWP for Guardian. Zeus has that Scar 20, and Na'Vi have now got 10 rounds on the board. We're quickly approaching the point where Fnatic are running out of rounds to give away. Like, they need at least 4 rounds, I'd say, on their T side of train to have a shot at it in the next half.
No, I definitely agree. And I look at the madness that Na'Vi are bringing to the table here. Now, 2 AWPs and an auto sniper. So they want to keep Fnatic guessing, and they also just maybe want to brag about how much money they have. It's going to be so tough. Good opening from Flusha, though. Takes down Zeus.
This is a big investment, but when there's so many guys who have over $10K on Na'Vi, it's not the end of the world. JW will get 2 great frags. Flusha and him really opening things up here for Fnatic on this A site, but there's still 2 guys alive for Na'Vi, alive at the back line, but it's a 2-on-4, and they just don't have the weapons necessary for a retake here. They have a Scar 20 and an AWP. Scar 20, okay, maybe, but an AWP is not the best rifle to be using when you're trying to get back onto a bomb site.
No, definitely not. Zeus will pick up 1 kill, but they really should be walking away from this. I don't see any reason why they keep pressing the issue here. And they are going to go down. Fnatic going to pick up the first round of this map for themselves. 10-1. Still plenty of money for Na'Vi, and that's obviously part of the problem here.
Well, you can understand if they get another kill there, Fnatic, the damage done is going to be such that they will not have much money in the bank. Right now they have 2 guys who have reasonable dough with 1450 on Olof. But imagine one more guy gets caught there. That's, you know, Fnatic towing the line right now. Na'Vi, if they win this round right here, Fnatic are back in the Stone Age regarding money. And I think that's what Na'Vi are about. They're like, we have so much money, we can throw away these guns. It's not a problem for us. You guys are the ones who can't afford to be spending money in the next round if you win it. So now we see, do Na'Vi manage to shut it down? Zeus taking a good bit of damage there from Krimz to start. Nicely done there by Krimz. And Fnatic going with a very standard 2-on-2 setup right now on their T side, just spreading out across the map looking for a pick.
Already taking a little bit of damage. A lot of Molotovs on Na'Vi's side too to try and prevent the bomb plant or just zone someone out in the retake. Really good. I think Molotovs on train are just so valuable. So I'm glad to see Na'Vi picking so many of them up. The one thing Fnatic really can't afford is to lose a round right about now because, you know, they've just reset their loss bonus, so they got to keep chaining.
Yeah, they're back to 1400.
Yeah, they got to keep chaining.
That's the scary part. But Fnatic, if ever they were going to have a chance, now's the time. 4 rounds left in this half. If they could put 2 together right here, that kind of starts the momentum train going their way. So Na'Vi, 35 seconds left on this clock. Na'Vi still solid with the defense. 2 guys on inner sight, 3 guys on outer sight. And Na'Vi, they're going to have to hit some big shots. And JW, speaking of big shots, catches Edward coming out of Pop Dog. And that's a great opportunity here for Fnatic to speed up.
That's the opening they were looking for. Zeus is going to take down Pronax, though, so that's half the flank sort of already gone. And there's the olofmeister coming into play. Great double for him. And now Guardian is going to go down as well, so Fnatic will pick up a second round here. Seized may have been playing well, but he's not going to be able to do this 1-on-4.
No, I'd actually like to see him back off at this point. Like, last round, okay, economic damage, great. But this round, now the money is starting to get a little weird for Na'Vi. They've got 2 guys who have got really good bank, 2 other guys who are kind of floating so-so. And then Seized himself, who has $450 to his name. So actually, if he holds onto this gun, that'd be really good for the next round. But he's looking to see if he can't pick somebody off here. Krimz about to walk right back into him. Knife and... What? There we go. But that took way too long. Now he's going to get cut off. JW is watching down the alley and manages to land the op shot. No misses there. Seized with an uncharacteristic spray and pray play there, and that did not work.
Yeah, that actually looked a little bit funny, didn't it?
I like the simultaneous jinx from us, man. Like, but I think we're both equally shocked. We're both equally as shocked. Like that's a shot that you just don't miss from Seized. That's like an instant headshot right there. It's a freebie.
Now the problem is there's 3 people in the next round. If Na'Vi lose this round, 3 of them can bind the next round, but 2 of them can't. So they really need to start getting back in where they were. Otherwise, Fnatic could still have a great first half. And look at Flusha opening up. Gonna get the quick double here. Returned on by Zeus, taking down JW as well. And starix got a kill on olofmeister, so it does sort of equalize. But Flusha with a terrifying opening here. starix gonna drop pronax.
And he drops the bomb at his feet as well. Now this is perfect. They know exactly where Krimz is. Krimz putting out a shot, making it clear. But Seized has already cut him off. This is the thing. Oh, Seized, don't pull out a nade. Just land the shot. Moment's hesitation there by Seized. Goes for the HE, but keeps the rifle out and gets the kill in the end. And now we see Na'Vi. Well, Na'Vi stabilize. Fnatic, because of that last round, they've actually got a pretty good bank going into this, into the before last. But they have to make a decision now. How, if they invest everything in this round and lose, then they aren't going to have much bank going into the last one. But I think they have enough to be able to stretch here.
Yeah, they do manage. It's going to be a Galil on Pronax because they went for an AWP. I think that's a solid choice instead of having, 2 Galils. But rather have 1 AWP or maybe an AK and a Galil or something like that. I do appreciate the fact that they gave Krimz sort of a Viking burial over at the A-bomb side. They actually Molotoved him while he was dead, so he's going to be with his ancestors somewhere.
Drinking mead.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I do like that they give AWP the JW, the JWP basically, because he's been getting some good frags for Fnatic in the last couple of rounds with that sniper rifle. And there you go. He already tags Edward from Pop Dog. Edward has to move, change up the position, but he's down to 17 HP. So they know, Na'Vi know now, okay, well, Fnatic have an AWP. We have to be worried here a little bit. Guardian is now looking for a forward position, the old get right spot basically, in inner, but he's not going to have a target right now.
Flash goes in, and Guardian will take JW. He wanted to switch his position and try and see if he can get another opening at the B-bomb side after having already softened up Edward, but it doesn't go out that way. starix is going to pick up a kill here. Krimz comes in with a good headshot, but is it going to be too late?
Oh, Krimz comes so close to taking out Zeus. Nearly nails the pre-fire shot, but he's going to get caught in the end, and now the man advantage goes back Na'Vi's way. Fnatic do get the plant, and Seized is caught in connector. Flash is completely white. He can't get a shot in. And now Fnatic stabilize somewhat. Smoke is about to clear, and Seized spots pronax through. And this is going to be a quick 1-for-1 trade. It's all down to Flusha. He's got the AWP, but he can't land the shot. And Seized will win the day in the end for Na'Vi. And that was a round that Fnatic could ill afford to lose. It's going to be a force now with all of them floating around $3,000.
Could very likely be a 13-2 finish here for the first half, which still would not put Fnatic out of the game, but it would, or out of the map at least, but it would certainly necessitate them winning the piss round on the second half. And that's, that's a lot to gamble on, because, Na'Vi are still, they're playing a really good train map, basically. They're not making many mistakes.
No, they're doing a fantastic job, and I think this is a lot of experience, basically, for Na'Vi on this map, whereas Fnatic are definitely relying more on their aim, more on their ability to get frags, but it's going to be the full-out YOLO. olofmeister just goes running into Zeus, swaps to the gun, but couldn't have worse timing. Guardian going to miss a point-blank shot. But it's still a 3-on-1 situation. Fnatic in the last round, standing their ground. Flusha doing his best, but he will get caught. And that is going to be a 13-2 finish here. Na'Vi, it's Mirage all over again, is it not?
It feels like it. I mean, on Mirage, which is actually a less CT-sided map than Train is, Fnatic did make the comeback. So you have to keep that in mind before you start panicking too much about your precious skins. But obviously... if now we win the pistol round, that pretty much seals the deal. I don't see any way that Fnatic are going to be bringing it back after that. But pistol round win, they can totally, they can even win, but they could at least also force the overtime. I would not rule that out.
Neither could. I mean, exactly. I'm not calling anything until one of these two teams has 16 rounds on the board, or 19 rounds, whichever way it goes. Because Fnatic could definitely come back in this with the CT side. Of course, a lot of that is going to depend on the aim once again, but also on the communication. That's the other thing that makes it so difficult to deal with Na'Vi, is because they just have so much experience on the CT side of Train. They have it all mapped out. So will Fnatic be able to have that same level when they switch over to the defense? Are they going to know how the rotations are going to work? Are they going to know who's going to be covering which angle at which time? This sort of information is what you build up the more and more you play a map. So Fnatic, with the new lineup that is olofmeister and Krimz being added into the core group of Flusha, JW, and Pronax, do they have that experience? I don't think so.
I think, well, maybe not, but I think Na'Vi likewise are not going to be that schooled on the terrorist side still. I mean, it's probably been a while since they played it. I think if Fnatic win the pistol round, I think they're gonna be sort of back on track. Doesn't mean they'll win it all the way, because Na'Vi, I mean, Train is a map where you can really get entry frags. A lot more on a lot of other maps, like Inferno can be really hard to get an entry frag without losing at least one player. On on Train, I'd say it's a lot easier, because you just have to, peek out with an AK, get a first shot, and that's it.
Are they going to go for it? They decide to back off? Are they going to hesitate? I thought that they were going to go for the straight up, and already instant rotation from Fnatic. They put 3 guys on that inner site in the blink of an eye. But there is still starix waiting, lurking over by alley, making sure that nobody can push out. And now Na'Vi play a bit more than Na'Vi style here. They make a whole lot of noise. It was like a herd of bison stampeding through those halls towards that B site. And you could see Fnatic instantly rotate an extra 2 guys over to help cover. And now Na'Vi, once that fake is gone, has not really panned out for them. They just go back to holding across the map, looking for the picks and the information.
Fnatic, on the other hand, are doing a good job of not getting too rattled. I mean, they did rotate one guy into B, but that's generally pretty common, having the first couple of seconds, everyone, except for one guy, like 4 people in the A-bomb side, and then after a while rotating one back to B. So I think that's all Fnatic have done. Right now, they're waiting for Na'Vi.
Oh, Krimz. Oh, Seized is going to find the first shot. Krimz with the double line in alley. He manages to whip around, pull 90 degrees, and still stay alive. JW with a great click, but he's going to go ahead and face down 2 guns. It's the Krimz, JW crossfire, and Krimz gets 3, JW gets 2. But that could not have gone better for Fnatic. What a fantastic position for Krimz to find himself in at the beginning when the push was coming in through alley. That was 2 clicks, 2 headshots. He couldn't have asked for a better start.
Yeah, great comeback from Krimz. I mean, we were sort of highlighting him earlier on in the first half when he had played the first 6 or 7 rounds without killing anyone, and now he's actually back and sort of in the middle of the scoreboard frag-wise. So that's a really good job, and I really expect nothing else from Krimz. He's a pro player, and he's one of the best. So, but it's nice to see that he's sort of mentally staying composed and not losing himself, because obviously the team as a whole can give up, and there could be like a feeling of mental breakdown amongst the whole team. But even if one person decides, I just can't do it today, that's a huge issue.
Na'Vi are going for the straight up YOLO rush out onto B right now. The whole strategy behind this play is to get the plant as quickly as possible. But Flush with the MP7 gets a quad kill.
Wow. That's
$2,400 in his pocket, $600 a frag, which is the whole reason why you go for an SMG like that. Just look at his money compared to the rest of his team. 4 kills with that gun is brutal. He turns into the Bank of Sweden in 1 round, basically. But one point that you need to make, Anders, is basically that Krimz on LGB never really got the time, the opportunity to shine, because he was overshadowed by other players like Dennis, soi-disant star players, right? Dennis, olofmeister, even Hoyten and Michaelele, you know, were really stepping up and getting big kills. And Krimz was always kind of like, you know, he had his moments, but he was never really able to get to the forefront, right? Here on Fnatic, clearly they're like, Krimz, you're our point man. Go to work, go get the frags. And he's really shown that he's capable of stepping up.
Yeah, and you know that's an interesting sort of experiment. Just, you know, a lot can happen if you take a player from one, you know, sort of position and put them in a different one. They can play very differently. So Krimz definitely has adjusted quite nicely. Flusha wants more eco frags here with the MP7. He's going to pick up 2 and goes for a third one. Actually going to be the pistol out. He'll eventually go down, but he still netted himself a lot of money in just 2 rounds here. He's up to 5,500.
Yeah, and now he's at $8,750. That's a lot of money to have this early on. A lot of bank. He could give an AWP over to JW right now. Although it seems like JW doesn't want to. JW buys an M4 and Flusha will get dropped. Flusha will get dropped to FAMAS and it's going to be olofmeister who buys himself an AWP. Okay, so Fnatic just kind of playing around with their money right now. It looks like they just want to keep that big bank on Flusha. Used to teams seeing it or spreading it out a bit more, but maybe pronax, he wants to have one guy with just a large sum in the back in case they have to go for a not play of some sort or a double rifle drop.
Sharing is not caring if you're Flusha. Doesn't believe in that.
Well, I mean, clearly, look at all the frags he got. It's all about padding the stats with Flusha.
17, 1, and 14. It's not bad at all. Tied with Edward on the other team, who's also got 17 kills. But right now, Na'Vi need to decide if they want to put Fnatic back on, you know, back on their perform in the first half and just win this game outright. You know, win it something like 16-8 or something. Just, you know, take a couple of rounds to build something together and then make it work. Or if they're gonna allow Fnatic the momentum and the confidence to build a real comeback here.
We saw it happen on Mirage. That's the thing. Na'Vi have got to be having like flashbacks right now. If they lose this next round, this is the first big round here for Na'Vi, 19th round, the bye round. If they lose this, Na'Vi are going to be having flashbacks to Mirage, and that's not a very comfortable feeling for them. But they do manage to get the bomb plant down on the B site. Only problem is that Fnatic still have the man advantage, and they still have time to act. olofmeister trying to find an angle to work, but Flusha is going to get a double spray down. Zeus and starix both gone. olofmeister gets the shot from on high, and Fnatic will live. All 4 members survive to see through the round.
And this brings us to one of the finer points of the B-bomb side of Train here, just to highlight this issue that Na'Vi just faced, which is that it's great getting in and getting a bomb down, but it's actually not that difficult because you can flash and smoke off the people that are holding close. The problem is that as long as you're stuck in this area here, it's not really that great. You want to be able to either get up to the high ground, or even better, I think, is trying to get some people close to where the CTs actually enter, so that the fight sort of happens away from the bomb site, and you can turn it into like a 2-on-2 or a 1-on-1, and then you can have the guy in the high ground really coming into play. But Na'Vi, they got bogged down inside that bomb site, and that's kind of a no-no.
No, that is a bit of a no-no, and I think they all got some boo-boos too. So Na'Vi now really have to figure out a way to start getting a little bit of momentum away from Fnatic, and getting the entry frag is a good start here. Pronax already picked off. Pronax not having a huge impact so far in these rounds though for Fnatic, only sitting on 5 or 6 frags, so it's not a big loss for Fnatic. Getting Flusha or Krimz would have been a much bigger blow dealt to the defense. Still, Na'Vi have that man advantage now, so they will be able to build off of this. The question is it going to be the B play after all? Because the bomb is slowly migrating over here, and now we have starix making his way through White Halls as well. It looks like Na'Vi want to shape up for an interplay once again.
Well, they do. Still a long distance. Fnatic need to win 10 rounds in a row here if they want to win the map. And if they allow Na'Vi to get back into it sort of right away, then it could finish a lot earlier than that. 10 rounds on Train? It could be done.
Oh, certainly. Easier than on Mirage.
Oh, look at this move from JW. He turns around 180 and takes down starix. That was, I think, like a 1 in 1,000 move from JW. Very cool play there. Just using the smoke that they had put down against them. They were not ready for that. Guardian does get a shot on olofmeister, but he doesn't quite go down. But the bomb is planted. It's another 3-on-3 coming in here. Flusha is going to be falling, and now it's a 2-on-2. But I'm not sure Fnatic can win this round.
Edward is in a pretty advantageous position up on CT Sniper like this. He's going to manage to get the flank on Krimz as well. Perfect execution. Guardian really locking down that site, though, for his team, getting 3 frags, holding from all the way in back. With that AWP, basically pinning down olofmeister at the start so that Olof couldn't really do anything at all for Fnatic, and then making sure that whoever was coming in through connector, whoever tried to walk in from the back line, just wouldn't be able to get anything done. So Na'Vi now. Na'Vi, they pick up 1 round on the T side. They need 2 more. And are these going to be the hardest, like, are these going to be the toughest 2 rounds of Na'Vi's life? And this is what we're about to find out. They forget the bomb, and the bomb is kind of crucial. It's kind of an important thing here.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're trying something brand new and undiscovered, generally carrying the bomb around is a good idea.
I.e. kill the entire team.
Yeah, just ignore it. Turn it into a deathmatch.
Oh, nice double nade, though, down on Na'Vi at alley. That was a lot of damage dealt. That's still information gained, but I mean, it's not so uncommon to have 2 guys holding it at alley like this, so Na'Vi can't really look into it too much. But they still have the bomb at T main. They have a man waiting around Pop Dog, and then 3 guys at alley. Na'Vi are looking for an A play here. They're really looking to just kind of crush in on Fnatic, and this alley here is going to be the key point for this take.
Now let's see. 40 seconds is, in Na'Vi terms, pretty a long time to deal with. So they're still just making up their minds, but it feels like it's eventually going to be like a 3-1-1 push. 3 people coming Ivy, 1 into main and 1 through Pop Dog. And that can work really well, but they do need the entry frags on at least sort of 1 or 2 of these places. If they all just go down, that's not good enough here. Pronax being forced back around the corner, and Zeus will open up.
Great entry there, JW and Pop Dog. He's about to get dropped down on, but the timing from Edward just does not work out. Flusha, Fnatic, Flusha, JW, and olofmeister all getting frags, and then Guardian gets one of the sickest double headshots we've ever seen. He's going to manage to get onto this side as well with 5 seconds left. Goes for the plant, but he's not going to be allowed to finish it. Flusha denies him at the very last second, but Fnatic, they breathe a sigh of relief. Guardian, the double shot, headshot, and then the other one as well. I hope you caught that on camera. Did you catch that on camera?
Yeah, I believe we caught most of it. That was really frightening. I mean, just that kind of action is what Fnatic need, because if they lose another round, I mean, they've lost so many people in the last couple of rounds. If they actually lose a round now, it's almost like Na'Vi can actually close out the game, just because at least 2 of the members on Fnatic won't have that great equipment. But on the other hand, Na'Vi are ecoing, and they're running into this Molotov by Flusha.
starix is going to manage to get up on this site, and there isn't much Flusha can do about it to stop it. He's going to be able to pick up some frags, but that bomb will get planted for Na'Vi. 1 kill going in for Na'Vi as well. olofmeister just holding down Mouse 1, getting a bit greedy there. His teammates will come in to save the day, and save that AWP more importantly, but olofmeister could have restrained himself a little bit and lived through that encounter.
Oh man, 14-8. If they just get another 8 rounds, if they double their round score right now, then they're home free, and that would be kind of I'd be certainly a bit of a sick ending to a grand finals if Fnatic were able to make this kind of comeback. They already did it almost once on Mirage, so I don't know. It seems like Counter-Strike has sort of evolved into a place where comebacks are a little bit more possible, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's also, I think, depending on the teams, and it seems like Fnatic CT side, when they are able to just set up the defense and try and land the shots, they're doing a really good job of it. Nade onto pronax, not going to do too much. starix looking to get the follow-up shot, however, and pronax just barely dancing on the edge. Avoids the damage for now, and deals it right back to starix. About maximum damage dealt there. That was very close. That was very nicely done there by pronax.
That's very cool. And Pop Dog is going to be JW getting a kill on Edward, so that was one of the things that should have worked. I mean, last time we saw the 3-1-1. This time it's sort of a 1-3-1. So they actually put 3 people in the middle, try and see if that works up. And it does make a difference in the end, but it all still depends on the entry frags, which right now Fnatic are getting more of.
Yeah, pronax giving himself up there. olofmeister, however, is going to manage to pick off Zeus, who is in connector. Guardian is going to get caught point blank. Krimz takes him out. But now it's a 1-on-2. starix is coming out of the back line. He needs to get this kill on olofmeister quick. He doesn't have eyes on the bomb either, but Fnatic, rather than challenge, they're letting him sweat. There's 30 seconds left on this clock, and starix would just love to land one shot here. If he could find a way to turn this into a 1v1, this would be great. Does he predict where Flush is coming from for the flank, however?
He was thinking about it. I was wondering if he even wanted to go for the B bomb site right now. He's got 19 seconds. He got to move really quickly, and olofmeister sees it coming, so the positions for Fnatic were just actually great. They wanted to make sure that if he wanted to put the bomb down, they could go and retake it 2-on-1 instead, and if he tried to sneak out, then they'd have him boxed in. Yeah,
that's 3 rounds in a row now for Fnatic after Na'Vi's 1-round win there. So They aren't quite to the point where they're going to be able to buy regardless of a drop or not, or a bomb plant rather or not. So Na'Vi just going for another round of eco here. Imagine, I can't see why they would even change up. Why not just go for a straight up YOLO B play again and just get that bomb plant down? They're going to spread out. Instead, Zeus eating a lot of nade damage to start.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, it seems like this A push from Na'Vi is actually working quite well, right? They all of the time they get themselves into this, you know, 2-on-2, 1-on-2 situation, and that's great. Eventually, there's a good chance that Na'Vi can win, and they have the rounds to play with, so I don't really blame Na'Vi for continuously trying to do it. It's going to be scary for Fnatic, because if they keep having to play the next, you know, 7 rounds in a row, and all of the time it's down to you know, 1-on-1 and 1-on-2, it's really, yeah, that's frightening.
That's nerve-wracking. We're going to have to check olofmeister for gray hair afterwards. I mean, he's going to age 15 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm waiting to see if Na'Vi are going to go for like a big smoke round or something along those lines, because I feel like a lot of the play that we've seen has revolved quite a bit around the aim duels again, and Fnatic are barely hanging on through those. So we'll see what Na'Vi decide to do in the next round. Edward is kind of on a solo mission right now. It's a 1-on-5 situation. Likelihood of him coming through is actually not that great, and Krimz spots him through that smoke. Lands the shot, the first one, and now we get to see exactly what Na'Vi are going to bring to the fore here, because they should have ample money, plenty of money to go for a buy, to get all the nades, to get all the rifles, all the guns. What do they do, though? Do they spread out, or do they try and set something up?
I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to go for the A push again, because it feels like they can get into the B bomb side and get the bomb down, but their hold on it is somehow much worse. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're going to see something similar again. This time, are they going to smoke in from the outside? Because that's actually something they haven't done so much before. They've just, you know, they've gone to the entrances and then thrown grenades from there, kind of like Zeus is doing here. But this time, starix in this position is kind of a big tell, and also up here. So yeah, they're going to go for some coordinated smokes and then a push.
Yeah, and Zeus is going to be taking point on this. Curious to see if Edward is going to make any noise towards that inner sight, just to make sure that those two guys who are holding right now are going to stay there. Guardian taking a frightful amount of damage over in Pop Dog, though. Good play there by JW to hunt him back. Krimz is holding towards T main, and the defense is solid right now for Fnatic, but there is still 2 guys over here for Fnatic on the base site. If Na'Vi decide to go for this play towards A, this could be very good for them.
Yeah, they're certainly coming, so that's a great entry frag into the bomb site.
Yeah, but look at this. Look at Na'Vi. They see it coming. They're going to let starix kind of go to town, try and act as if there's everybody here from Na'Vi, but they already have an inkling. olofmeister's making his way towards the B site, but it's a second too late. Guardian manages to cut him off. starix with the frag on A as well. This is falling apart for Fnatic. They're into a 2-on-4, and they aren't going to be able to stop this bomb from getting planted. Edward, all the way back in CT spawn, goes for the spray and manages to pick up pronax.
This is a big round, and it's really well thought out. It was well calculated by Na'Vi, because, as we've been pointing out, they've been going for this A-bomb site for like 3 or 4 rounds in a row, and almost bringing it close. So in the 5th round, they decide, okay, we're going to throw smokes and flashbangs like we're going, and then, as you said, just let starix run out there, and then hopefully Fnatic are going to remember the last 4 rounds and think it's going to be another goddamn A-push, but it wasn't.
It wasn't, and that's the magic of the mines right now. Na'Vi, they make the right call, and Zeus definitely coming through when it mattered most. Now they're on that 15th round, but now, do we see Fnatic run it back again? Is this mirage happening all over again, or do Na'Vi actually close it out? They have all the money, everything they need right here to get the job done. All the smokes, all the nades, and Guardian has got Kevlar this time, so if he decides to take the fight with JW, it's not going to be so risky. But instead, what they're going to do is a bit of an olofmeister, in fact. I'm wondering if they're going to boost Guardian up on the fence back here to make sure that that he can get the high ground advantage going into this duel.
Oh, look at where pronax is standing. Pronax is just like he has a knack for finding these weird corners. This is kind of like what he does on Mirage up in the apartments, right? Just standing on a tiny ledge, and now he's going to be moving forward because he heard them running back. If he can come up with a kill here, that would be huge. Na'Vi is setting up for a push, but Guardian is actually looking the right way. Pronax, he could get picked off, and that would be the worst opening. He is going to get picked off. Seized as well. I'm wondering if that was a straight fake from Na'Vi, if they actually ran down there in order to just run back and hope that someone was going to push behind them.
They were holding. I mean, that's the thing. They made sure that they were in a position to deal with it if it happened. And so, not sure if that was premeditated or not. It looked like it with all those guys watching back there. Na'Vi now with a golden opportunity. They got the entry. They have the advantage. JW sprays up a Guardian and somehow doesn't get the frag either. So now they maintain that advantage. Na'Vi, 35 seconds on the clock. They have to make a go of it here. And are they going to make the right call as to which site? The bomb is making its way through White Halls towards B site. It seems like this is going to be the play here. Na'Vi, 25 seconds left. Need to get out here somehow.
starix goes down. Guardian is in a good position to pick off anyone coming in, and he's going to kill Flusha. But up from behind, and this could be the big move, is JW. He's going to look for Guardian and takes him down right through the box. So it's a 3-on-3. Comes up, takes down Zeus as well. And Edward, well, the bomb is down. He's going to have to get this kill on Krimz pretty quickly, and he won't be able to. Krimz takes him down, and it's 15-10.
And with plenty of time to defuse.
11.
Yeah, it's going to be 15-11 now. Krimz saves the AWP as well for olofmeister or JW, whichever one. JW plays the position under Pop Dog, though, so I guess you understand why he doesn't want that AWP per se, because essentially, what's he going to do with it that close? olofmeister is going to be the man holding on to it, and JW is going to stick with the M4A1. Or with the AK, rather. But still, Fnatic actually managing to recover fairly well there. Na'Vi, I thought they would actually have the advantage, but the defense on the site there, Edward was just a second too late to pick up Krimz, and that's, I think, the big thing. He managed to find olofmeister fairly quickly at connector, but Krimz gets by and just shuts down the defense on the actual site. And when it comes down to it, Edward just can't not stop him.
Oh, Flusha getting overpowered, and now there's only one guy holding, and it is olofmeister, so it's not the worst person. Oh my god, he's going to pick up Zeus as well. And JW's there to help him out with Edwards. So that looked like it was going to be the opening for Na'Vi, but then olofmeister just shuts it down.
Oh, and Guardian with a sick flick shot right there onto pronax towards CT again. But that bomb is now dropped on that site, and starix is on a mission. He's looking to get the flank right now. And are they going to be wondering about this? Krimz is already looking towards a site from connector. He's going to catch starix. As soon as starix rounds this corner, Krimz is in the perfect spot. But starix looks towards him. starix lands the spray, and we're back into a 2-on-2.
Man, Fnatic seem like they had this. JW, he's got to stay alive. He's right here. He's going to go down to Guardian. And this could be the end. olofmeister almost secured the round, but now the bomb is going to go down. And this grenade won't kill Guardian. If it had been starix down there, it would have been a 1-on-1 instantly. But now he's sandwiched in.
Near maximum damage taken, but olofmeister, he's about to get caught in a crossfire because starix is now out on the site. olofmeister turns in time to spot this. The mad spray. What are they doing? It's just a spray battle, and somehow starix lives with 8 HP. Na'Vi take the map, even it up.